Warning, this chapter contains some slight gore. Read and listen at your own risk.
Chapter 7, Melody's POV. Ugh. Another day of work done. Who knew small things like walking dogs was so tiring? And that last lady kept me late. Great. I missed getting Felix from his classes. Oh well. He does have a copy of the key. And knows how to make PB&Js. He should be fine. Besides, if he needs anything, Klaus is only a couple of floors up. Being 18 is tiring. But I'm nearly home at least. So help me if that apartment is trashed when I get back, I'm killing him. Well, not kill him exactly, but I will certainly give him a piece of my mind. He's 15 after all. He should know how to at least pick up after himself. Then again, Margaret used to have to pick up after him, so maybe not. I miss Margaret and Andy too. I wonder how they are doing. I know Andy is in this town too, but I have yet to see him. And Margaret's back on the farm. It was easier on the farm. Okay, I thought. Just gonna check on Felix, then pay Klaus back for helping us a week ago. Simple. I walked down the hall to our apartment. It was quiet. Too quiet. Felix. I'm back. No response. Well, it is about 10:30 at night anyway, but he could just be up studying. I peeked into his room to see him lying on his bed, his textbook resting on his face. Typical Felix. I walked into his room, carefully moving the book to his nightstand and carefully tossing his blanket on him. That kid could honestly sleep through anything. Why was he up so late studying anyway? It's Friday. I'll never understand him. He never liked studying back on the farm. I didn't even know he could read since I had never seen him pick up a book. Well, I said to myself through a yawn. I can just give Klaus the money tomorrow. I set my things down and went to the kitchen to make something to eat. I am so tired, I think I'll just make a PB&J too. Maybe tomorrow will be different. When I entered the kitchen, the counters had some jelly on them. I also noticed the peanut butter and jelly was left out, with their lids on thankfully, next to the bread. There was a note next to it. Hey Mel. Didn't know when you'll be back, but I figured you might be hungry. I left the stuff out for you. I may have spilled some jelly and tried to clean it. I'll try to get the rest in the morning. You're welcome. Felix. Oh. That's strangely nice of him. I thought as I stared at Felix's note. Of course, it had some spelling errors. The lack of apostrophes, and he used the wrong your, but he's still learning, so I'll give him that. I made myself something to eat and went to clean myself up. I reeked of dog and was covered in leaves, grass, and mud. Dogs may be adorable, but they could surely be ruthless when it comes to squirrels. After combing the grass and leaves from my hair and washing the dirt off my face, I changed into a less dog-covered outfit and headed to my room. Finally. Some sleep. I woke up quite early to something falling and breaking in the kitchen. I quickly got up and saw Felix trying to clean up a broken bowl. Ugh. Felix. He quickly looked at me, he looked scared. Morning Mel. I wasn't trying to wake you. Honest. I took a breath. Here, let me clean it up before you cut yourself. He stood aside while I swept up the broken bowl. After throwing away the bowl, I turned to him. So what happened? How did you break that bowl? I interrogated him. Something Felix once pointed out since we moved is that I've started getting bitchy in the morning. Maybe that's why he's scared. Well, I tried to clean up the counters since I spilled jelly on them last night. Then I went to get a bowl of cereal, but I couldn't find the step stool and I didn't want to move a chair and wake you. So I climbed on the counters to get a bowl. Then I slipped and the bowl slipped from my hands and he seemed scared. Back on the farm, Margaret was the only thing that scared him. I guess I might have been acting like her here recently. And you broke the bowl, on accident. He gave me a slow nod. I calmed down a bit. Well, Either way, you would have woken me up, so I guess it doesn't matter. But at least you didn't get hurt. I got a bowl down for him. Here. Now go eat, you crazy kid. I said with a laugh. It at least got a smile from him. I got a bowl myself and sat down next to him. He was sitting in a chair that gave him a clear view of the TV. He was watching a DVD collection he actually worked to save up some money and begged me to get. Some kind of alien show, and a whole 40 episodes of it. I watch it occasionally due to all the dumb ways the aliens' plans get foiled. It reminds me of Felix when he was younger. I washed my bowl and put it up, and soon Felix did the same. I was about to sit down when Felix reminded me of something. Oh, hey, did you pay Klaus back yet? He barely looked up from his show. Dang it. I knew I had forgotten something. Thanks for the reminder, Felix. Anytime. He replied, his face glued to the TV. You can handle yourself for a few minutes. It shouldn't take long. I asked him. Yeah. Even though knowing you, you'll probably offer to clean Klaus's whole apartment for him to ensure no debt. So I can handle myself for a few hours. I could hear the smugness in his voice, but he isn't wrong. That does sound like something I would do. I guess I've always been a bit of a people pleaser. Got that trait from watching Andy back on the farm. He was always offering to help Klaus and Margaret. Well, even if I do end up helping him, can you handle yourself? Yes, Melody, I can handle myself. And you know, he cut me off. I know that if I want a snack, I get something from the snack cabinet, and that I am not to touch your snacks. I know how to make a PB&J if you're not back by lunch. And I know how to work a sink to get water. There's the smart-ass Felix that I know. Besides, if I need you, I know where you will be, and if you leave the building, I go to Klaus if needed. Exactly. Though the know-it-all attitude wasn't needed. I smiled and grabbed the money I would give to Klaus. I'll be back soon, Felix. I hollered. Okay, see you when you get back. I left our apartment and headed towards the stairs. Klaus' apartment was on the 3rd floor. It's strange. We haven't seen Klaus in almost a week. Then again, we didn't meet him since last week, so I'm just overthinking. As I climbed the stairs, I noticed some red on the black, colored speckled carpet. Perhaps someone spilled some punch or some paint. I thought as I climbed. The red grew more prominent as I got closer to Klaus's floor, and even more so as I got closer to his apartment. I realized the red stuff trailed all the way back to Klaus' door. Maybe he spilled something. I knocked on his door to no answer. Strange. But what was stranger is when I knocked, his door opened a bit. Even more strange. Klaus always shuts doors. Gently pushing open the door, I looked into his apartment. It seemed empty, and there was more of the red stuff all on the floor. Klaus normally keeps things nice and tidy. As I carefully walked in his apartment, looking for him, I almost slipped. I was able to catch myself. But that small relief didn't last long. Right in front of me was a body. A dead body. They were covered in stab wounds, and the throat was cut too. I walked closer, despite everything else telling me not to. I wished I listened. Because now I know whose corpse was lying in front of me, brutally murdered. Klaus.